for Pat Harris. Who is Pat Harris? I already told you guys who he is, but I'm going to let you tell him who he is in his own words. Pat, give everybody your 411.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Essentially, I'm running for the United States Senate in the seat currently held by Dianne Feinstein. I have spent the last 25 years of my life as a civil rights and criminal defense attorney, mostly across California, some cases across the nation, but mostly in California. I'm based out of Los Angeles. I have been doing this where pretty much full-time in terms of civil rights in the last 7 to 8 years specifically. I've taken on everybody from corporations like Pfizer, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. I took on a very famous case where I took on the Catholic Church over the abuse of children. I was involved actually in taking on Kenneth Starr back in the 90s on the Whitewater investigation. So that's pretty much what I've been doing with my life. Is I had the opportunity when I came out of law school to go work for a corporate firm. I decided that's not what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to represent people who didn't have a voice. So I went to work instead for a public defender's office in Nashville, Tennessee. And that's been my life, is representing people that I feel like need a voice. And I've loved it, but now I feel like there's a lot of people in this state of California that don't feel like they have a voice.
You know, based on the accent, I thought you were British, but so Nashville, I used to live in Nashville too, man. So that's really cool.
Then if you lived in Nashville, let's see, do you know Zany's Comedy Club?
That was my home. That was my home. Yeah, Zany's Comedy Club. The folks that run that place were very, very good to me when I lived there. And, when I lived there, I did an internship there when I was in college. I interned at a record label and loved the city, fell in love with it. And then years later, when I was kind of just a road comic, traveling the country, doing comedy, my girlfriend at the time wasn't super thrilled with where we were living. I wasn't either. We were back in Pittsburgh because I just finished grad school there. And we were kind of anxious to go somewhere else. She really loved the idea of living in Nashville. It was a pretty easy sell for me too. So we moved down there. I traveled a lot when I was there. Like I was out of town about 40 some weeks a year, but it was a really fun place to be when I got to spend some time there.
It is a great place. And I got to tell you, it's kind of funny because when I was in my 20s and before I decided to go to law school, I was doing a number of different things. And I actually bought a franchise for a comedy club. I bought a Zany's franchise and opened the first comedy club in Little Rock, Arkansas. So all the people at Zany's I'm very familiar with. They're great people. They were terrific. Unfortunately, I ended up starting it out as very successful and then making a very dumb decision, which cost me the club and I ended up closing the club. But it was a great experience and a lot of fun. So sometime when you and I have a chance, we'll sit down at lunch and we'll talk about the people at Zany's.
Well, yeah, I would love that. And so you have experience in the comedy business, and now you're gaining experience in comedy's stepchild politics. So you're covering the wheel, my man.
I can tell you which one's a lot sadder. I know that. That's for sure.
Life of a comedian is tough. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.